like, yeah, right, go ahead. And you go, I don't want this. You let go because it's like, this isn't real connection. This string is going to represent the connection between the two of us. I'm going to ask questions throughout this. Don't think about what the right answer is. Just go with what your gut instinct of how it feels. Hey, Stephen, how's it going, man?
It's going good, yeah.
Yeah? What was something that frustrated you yesterday?
My haircut didn't go to plan.
Tell me about it.
It's not good. I don't like it.
Do you find that some of the biggest struggles you had yesterday was mostly with business or personal, or tell me something with business?
The struggles with business yesterday.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so you're on your phone now.
And what did you feel in the line?
I felt like the tightness went loose.
Yeah, it went slack. Right, but that's the physical. Emotionally, how did that feel?
It felt disrespectful.
Yeah. Now, let's put it taut again, and I'm talking to you, and I say, so what are you looking forward to this weekend?
I'm looking forward to...
No, go ahead. And this is me just turn. It's still tight. Don't worry. I still am connected to you. No, don't worry about it. I'm right here. Go ahead. Yeah, exactly. You see how all of a sudden you wanted to let go now.
Yeah.
Somebody gets on theirs and you don't want to look awkward or odd. So what do you normally get out yours. And next thing you know, both of you are on your phones at dinner. We were supposed to be communicating with each other and you're just staring at your phone. Let's say you and I were having lunch and I'm talking like this to you and I put my phone right here. Do you feel a difference?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Do you feel I'm more connected or less connected?
Less connected.
Yeah, and
I'm amongst priorities, not the priority.
Do you feel any different if I flip it over?
Yes, I do.
And my face it's down?
Yes, I do.
Now,
it's a signal.
Of?
That you think this is more important and you don't want to be distracted.
Imagine, what would you feel like if you just said, hey, where's your phone? He said, oh, I just left it in the car. I just wanted to sit with you.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Does anybody do that?
No.
No, nobody does that. But if I have it here, even if I put it face down on the table and I'm talking to you, I'm at least still having my world, my business, my stress, my chaos. It's my pacifier. It's still there in the conversation with us. So even if I put it down or I put it between my legs or I put it in my pocket, which I think is much better of not letting it come out at all, what's the strength of the connection? Because we've all been that person, like we just showed with the string, where they get out their phone while you're talking and like, yeah, right, go ahead. And you go, I don't want this. You let go because it's like, this isn't real connection. So if you want to be a better communicator, you have to understand the definition of true connection. It's keeping it taut.
You think Bitcoin's going to zero?
Yeah.
Okay, this is worrying. I think I have some Bitcoin. You're an economist.
Yeah.
You're saying that Bitcoin is going to zero. Why?
Ultimately, because of its reliance upon energy. When they told me about Bitcoin, I could have bought it for £1 of Bitcoin, which I would have been maybe wealthier than you if I'd done that. The reason I didn't was they explained that the way that the public ledger is kept safe is that it takes too much energy to break it. So each transaction requires 10 minutes of computer processing time globally, by the looks of it, to actually create an extra Bitcoin. And that means it's too expensive for somebody to try to break the ledger. That means it's got a huge requirement for energy use. And I believe, knowing what I know from climate scientists, that at some point we're going to realize we're using far too much energy on the planet. We've got to cut the energy consumption. And the two easiest things to cut out to reduce energy consumption are cryptocurrencies and international travel.
In 2024, you made 3 predictions that have come perfectly true, like Trump would start a war with Iran. And you've made a series of new predictions.
Yes, and I'll explain each prediction one by one. Okay, so first, I predict that Trump will get a 3rd term.
But isn't this constitutionally illegal?
It's not. The president now has emergency war powers, and so he can actually delay the election. My second prediction is Iran is now a forever war, and the United States will institute a national draft, meaning that if you're between 18 to 24 in America and you're male, you'll be automatically put into the draft system. And they just passed a law that says that starting December, you will be automatically registered.
Which means you're obliged to go and fight.
Exactly. Next, the world will move towards an AI surveillance state. So everything you do online is being recorded to figure out how to control you. And then this is the most controversial prediction. This is pretty bad. And I'll explain why. And also, I will tell you why this war can only lead to World War III. Why there's a very strong possibility that the American empire will collapse. And also, I'll show you what the Russians will do and how the private bankers are controlling you.
I'm not owned by anybody.
That's what you think.
So let's talk about that.
At the end of an interview, there's always that moment where they say, do you have any questions for us? And what I've seen sitting on the other side of the table is people either ask a question they don't really have because they feel like they're supposed to, or they say, no, I don't have any questions. And it's just a missed opportunity. And so this one, I have to give credit to my co-founder. He came up with, and this is one of the things that I did not anticipate. I got the most positive responses. Like, I got the job because of this question type of a thing. And the question is, okay, so let's say that this interview went really well and a year from now I got the job and you're looking back. What would I have had to have done in order for you to feel like it was a good decision? Like, what things will I have had to have done in that role? And so typically the person goes, I like that. That's a really good question. And it does a handful of things. One, you've gotten them to imagine the interview going really well and them hiring you, right? And then second, they're going to lay out for you exactly what you need to do in the role to excel. And that is something that every boss wants. It's like, I want you interested in knowing what I need from you in order to do a good job.
Women list humor as a number one trait they want in a man. Men don't care as much about humor in a woman. They want a woman who laughs at their jokes.
Of course.
Which I thought this was so good and so helpful that for a man, yes, it's good if you can work on being funny because women do like it. But if you're a woman, you actually don't have to be that funny. You just have to be willing to laugh. And that brings me back to liking. Being an easy laugher, like being ready to laugh, is one of the most likable complimentary things you can do for someone else. There's sometimes people will like withhold their laughing, or like they'll be like, oh, that's funny, right? So being an easy laugher is also like the fastest way to tell someone, I like you.
So much of what's happening today in the AI industry is extremely inhumane.
But this is me playing devil's advocate. And logically, it could be the case that the civilization that accelerate their research with AI is going to be the superior civilization.
No, it's not. This is a prediction that you're making, right?
Elon's making, Zuckerberg's making,
Yes.
Altman's making.
And do you know what the common feature of all of them is? They profit enormously off of this myth. You know, I have all of these internal documents showing that they're purposely trying to create that feeling within the public so that they can extract and exploit and extract and exploit.
So what do we do about it?
We need to break up the empires of AI. You know, I've been covering the tech industry for over 8 years. I interviewed over 250 people, including former or current OpenAI employees and executives. And I can tell you that there are many parallels between the empires of AI and the empires of old, right? Like, lay claim to the intellectual property of artists, writers, and creators in the pursuit of training these models. Second, they exploit an extraordinary amount of labor, which breaks the career ladder because someone gets laid off and then they work to train the models on the very job that they were just laid off in, which will then perpetuate more layoffs if that model then develops that skill. And when they talk about that there's going to be some new jobs created that we can't even imagine, a lot of the jobs that are created are way worse than the jobs that were there. And then there's the environmental and public health crisis that these companies have created, and how they're able to also spend hundreds of millions to try and kill every possible piece of legislation that gets in their way and will censor researchers that are inconvenient to the empire's agenda. But what I'm saying is not that these technologies don't have utility. It's that the production of these technologies right now is exacting a lot of harm on people. But we have research that shows that the very same capabilities could be developed in a different way that doesn't have all of these unintended consequences. So let's talk about all of that.
So there are 5 scenarios in which the war could end because Trump is stupid enough to take on what Israel wanted to do, which was destroy Iran, but they've bitten off far more than they can chew. So scenario 1 is Iran destroys the Gulf power infrastructure. I think that's highly likely. And if that happens, then Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Dubai, they all become uninhabitable. And then scenario 2, Iran disables Israel's nukes. I hope that happens, but there's this one, and it scares the shit out of me.
Professor Steve, I have so many questions. What is going on?
So this war is threatening everybody on the planet. And what Trump is doing at the moment is a pump and dump scheme. He's trying to drive up the oil price and exploiting it for his friends and for his own wealth in the process. So people are focusing upon the price of this. But the really important point is this Strait of Hormuz. So oil, fertilizer, helium, all have to pass through the Strait of Hormuz.
And Iran have blocked that gap.
So they can say, you do or do not pass, depending on what your country's attitude towards our country. And it's quite terrifying because 20 to 30% of our fertilizer comes through this point. But if this is not available, the globe has a famine.
Do you think he will send ground troops in?
Yes, I do, but I'd hate to be one of those troops because it's a suicide mission. They've got underground military units of weapons and troops, but we have no idea of the scale.
Trump keeps saying that the war has been won.
Yeah.
What's going on there in your view?
I think he's been fed propaganda to tell him that he's winning the war by his immediate advisors, because you cannot tell a person like that they've made a mistake.
We'll talk about that as well. But you've developed a bit of a reputation because you're very good at predicting things. So which of these 5 outcomes do you think is most probable to happen?
Oh, God.